give permission to use this video for academic purposes. Bellamy Montoya. I'm in 9th grade and I go to Foster High School. Do competitive cheer and high school cheer. I learned to be myself because you'll get judged a lot in this sport, and also to keep commitments because in the long run it can affect different things. Keeping fit because like I said, people judge, and so if you're a bigger cheerleader, that's not cool or not right. And being a cheerleader, a lot of people think about it as being you have to be skinny, you have to be fit, you have to be flexible, and in the beginning, when I first started, I was not any of those things. I was pretty chubby, and I was not very flexible, and I just couldn't do as much as other people could do. And a lot of people put me down for that, always second guess looking at me if I was a cheerleader or not, because I wasn't very skinny. And
my name is Maximilian Montoya. I'm a senior at Foster High School. When I was younger, I played a lot of soccer, basketball, baseball, and tennis. But for high school, I play golf, basketball, and baseball. The most important thing that I learned was always work hard and hustle, no matter what you do. My favorite sport would probably be golf or basketball, just because I'm pretty good at it and I found success, and I just really enjoy being out there on the course and in the gym. Biggest pressures for golf would be just starting fresh. I started my freshman year and I just wasn't very good, so I had to work really hard in order to get good. And then in basketball, I wasn't always the biggest guy. I was usually one of the smallest, so I had to work around being small and playing with bigger guys. For me, it was a little hard because I was so dedicated to both of them. I played a lot of sports and trained very hard, and also took many AP classes, so both took a lot of time, but I was able to work out a schedule and do both. I had a very strong support system behind me with my parents. They're at majority of my games and matches, and whenever I need something, they were there for me. Their roles were before I was driving, they would be able to take me to all my practices and my matches and things like that. And now that I drive, their role is a lot of support and helping me through tough times that I'd be having, mentally or just struggling out on the course. My dad played basketball. He also played tennis and was very successful in tennis. Yeah, felt a lot of pressure. He always wanted me to succeed, and I knew that he always wanted the best for me, so yeah. In my own words, student athlete is a student who goes to school, works hard in the classroom, gets passing grades, and then has the privilege to going out and playing whatever sport that they want. I feel like just because I was a little smaller, people thought that I wouldn't be as good in some areas, but I was able to work hard and prove people wrong. I feel like the media portrays sports as they kind of idolize it. They think professional athletes and sports are of the top respects you can have, and I don't necessarily feel that that's all that there is in life. I feel like there's a lot more to life than just sports, but I feel media is also is able to show athletes who contribute back to the community pretty well.
My name is Manave Radford, and I give Chris permission to use this video for educational purposes. I was a gymnast and a soccer player. I did gymnastics for about 12 years. Started when I was 5 and then went through high school. I did gymnastics because when I was in kindergarten, I was invited to a birthday party at a gym and ended up enrolling in classes and stayed there for many years. Biggest pressures were probably Skills that I wasn't very good at when in a gymnastics meet, performing them to the best of my ability. A good example is when I was on the balance beam doing back handsprings. I felt that if I didn't at least stay on the beam, I was going to get in trouble by my coaches, of course. Yes, kind of. A lot of people didn't think that gymnastics was considered a sport at all, and that they expected me to be super girly because it was one of the girliest sports there is, aside from cheerleading and dance, which I completely disagree with because I'm so not girly at all. It was difficult, but definitely a routine every day. I would do schoolwork in the car on the way to gymnastics, and then in the car on the way back from gymnastics. And if I wasn't finished by then, I would stay up past midnight maybe to finish it. My parents were very supportive. My dad was not very involved, but my mom was a lot. She drove me and came to all my meets, which was a huge support because I live in Bellevue and went to gymnastics in Auburn, so it was quite the commute, especially at 3 p.m. Student athlete to me is someone who is a student first and then an athlete, balancing out sports and schoolwork at the same time. I think that they definitely make it a big deal, more important than a lot of other things that should have higher importance in general. They kind of push, it seems like they push sports are more important than getting an education. I do think it's important for parents to support their kids because families, at least to me, the way I grew up, it's a very important and big support system that I always had, and without that, I'm not entirely sure. How well I would have done